Hey everyone, Mike the Beast here with my good pal Mitch Hallock. Mitch, how's it going today?
It is going well, Mike. We are here. Keep coming.
In about a month, give or take, month and a few weeks, there's a big event coming up in the state of Connecticut.
Yeah, what would that be, Mike? Is it like
Wonderful
Nutmeg Fest or something like that?
WrestleCon.
WrestleCon, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's where we get all oiled up and do leg wrestling. Yeah. No, Mike. I happen to be holding the poster. It is here. Terrificon at Connecticut's Mohegan Sun on July 30th to August 1st, 2021. Connecticut returns to the world of conventions as Terrificon returns for 3 days of Comic-Con fun at Mohegan Sun. There will be stars from TV, movies, comic books, and more. Plus, you can shop for comic books.
Sounds like you've said this a few times.
Memorabilia. I say it in my sleep.
And you mentioned guest, and since we kind of talked about wrestling, you've got some wrestling.
I have wrestling, yes. I finally broke down after all these years of fighting against the wrestling fans. From the AEW, we have Darby Allin, Tay Conti, and Sammy Guevara. I believe I said his name correctly. Yes, yeah. That's the thing, so I got wrestling. And for you Power Ranger people that have not stopped bothering me for years, I caved in too. I brought down Power Rangers. This fellow was not one, but two. He was the black and the green Power Ranger. Plus, he's a huge anime voice actor. His name is Johnny Young Bosch. He will be there as well.
Awesome.
So, yes.
And then, movie media guests, you've got Sean Gunn, Michael Rooker,
Sean Gunn, Russ Marquand, who was the Red Skull's ghost or whatever in the Endgame and the Infinity War. Plus, he's on The Walking Dead. Then we have from the world of television, Highlander himself, Adrian Paul. There could be only one. Don't lose your head. He'll be at the show, and he's teaching swordplay classes on Saturday. So if you ever want to be a Highlander, there will be no head chopping off at my show. Please notice that. So kids, don't do it. And then there's lots of people. There's, oh for goodness sakes, we have voiceover folks coming from Batman Animated, Justice League United, even Firestar from the original Spider-Man and his Amazing Friends, and Larry Kinney, Lino will be back again, and you name it, man. There's a lot more people. Go to the website, Terrificon.com. Or I could just look down at this point. Oh, the cast of Land of the Lost, my favorite show as a kid. They are still coming, and they will be there as well. And I know there's somebody else I'm forgetting, but still.
maybe someone you haven't announced yet?
Have I announced somebody else yet? Well, you never know. People call me all day. I mean, literally, I got a call today from Joe Simon's grandson, Jesse Simon, and he's part of the show now. So that's how it goes with Terrificon. Every day, somebody else, man.
Awesome. Now, what panels you're still working on? Panels, right?
I just finished the panel list last night. I have panels on, of course, Comic Book Saturday is Comic Book Panel Day. You'll have Donnie Cates up there. You'll have Dan Jurgens up there. You'll have Pete Tomasi. You'll have Jimmy Palmiotti. That's like Comic Book Day. And then on Sunday, I kind of switch it and I put the media guests. So that'll be the day we get the panels with the Batman cast, the Justice League cast. Then you'll get Rooker and Gunn and all that stuff. And then Friday night is kind of a salute to the Silver and Golden Age kind of stuff. That's when I usually have people like Paul Kupperberg come on, and we have Barbara Freelander. They talk about romance comics and Archie and all that. So Friday's like a hodgepodge of what it is. But yes, there's always panels at Terrificon as we salute the American art form of comic books, right?
And who created those comic books but the writers and artists? You mentioned some of them, and you've got writers from the Golden Age,
Silver Age, Copper Age,
all the way up to today.
Today, Modern Age. What other ages were there? Was there another one I think of?
Future Age? Do you know anyone who's coming into the business?
I know that's you're funny you should say that, because a couple years ago we had a portfolio review done by C.B. Cebulski from Marvel Comics, and there were some young talented folks that he selected, and I think they're out there right now. And he might be coming by, so
cool. Keep
checking the website. We're talking to CB as I speak.
Awesome.
So he might be back.
And in the past, you don't have to go through all the vendors, but everything about Terrificon is set up with so many different.
There's comic book dealers coming from across the country. There's, of course, there's Funko Pop dealers, anime dealers. There's toy dealers. I mean, you name it. Original art dealers there. That's always a great thing. You can find posters, artwork, old comic book pages and such. They'll be there too. You know what? I'm going to give you an exclusive here. John Cassaday's coming.
Awesome.
He's a Captain America artist. That's one of my favorite. But he did Star Wars. He did The Authority. He did all these other books. He will be there Saturday only.
Awesome.
And then Sean Murphy, another Saturday only, who did the Batman White Knight series and stuff like that. So you never know who's going to pop up.
Yeah.
I haven't even posted that one yet.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Awesome. And then CGC you've had in the past?
CGC's there. They'll be collecting books and witnessing signatures. CBCS will be there as well, right near the Artist Alley. So if you got a bunch of books that you want to get, drop off to be graded and slabbed, that'll be there. And they'll sit there and witness famous artists signing your book. So you can get your Venom signed by Donny Cates. You can get your White Knight's book signed by Sean Murphy or something. Or Joe Giella.
That's right.
A living legend,
Awesome.
92, 93 years old, worked on stuff in the 40s. You can. He did the first appearance of Poison Ivy in the Batman book, the first Justice League he was the inker on. All these things. So, yeah, he could do it.
Awesome. And he was great. I met him 2 years ago.
Yeah,
He
he's
was just
fantastic.
awesome seeing
Yeah.
those guys.
Sharp as a tack,
Yeah.
on his wits, talk to you.
And then, so I'm looking forward to that once again.
You
July,
better be, Mike.
July
I only do this for you.
the 29th through the...
No. The 30th, 31st, and August 1st.
I do that every year.
Yeah, I know.
It's right
do
in
it
front
next
of me.
year, because next year, July 29th to July 31st, we're going to be at the end of July next year. So you're jumping ahead. But that's 2022.
I went through a different timeline. And I found
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Now, speaking of that,
Yeah.
Loki episode 1 just dropped this past week.
It did on Wednesday. I watched it. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes.
What you think?
Pretty interesting what they're going to do with the character, because we all know he got killed in Infinity War. So you're like, well, what could you do with a dead guy? They thought of a way around it, and it's an interesting setup, a plot device. So it's fun to see Tom Hiddleston back as Loki. Yeah. One of my favorite characters. In the movies. In the comics, it was pretty lame. Loki was every issue. I'll show my father that Thor loves Jane Foster. It got old fast. Really fast, But,
And I think you once told me you had a quick interaction with Tom Hiddleston, right?
oh, I interviewed him. Yeah, back in the day. He's a close talker. He was like, I was like, whoa. Come, little feet in between you and me, Mr. Hiddleston. Yes, he's a big Raiders of the Lost Ark fan. Funny you should mention that, because today's the 40th anniversary of Raiders of the Lost Ark. It came out in 1981 on June 12th. I was there. I saw it in the theaters. And they're filming Indiana Jones 5, Harrison Ford in the Search for Oxygen. Yeah,
Right.
it's really good.
And
Breathtaking.
yeah, good to hear. It will be good to hear that theme once again.
Yes, it will, and I think it actually opens up next year. It better open up the week before Terrificon, because there'll be some conflict if I have to go to a movie right in the middle of my own convention. I'll be like, well, Indiana Jones 5 opens, my wife will shoot me. Where are you going? Going to movies? I tell you, or don't laugh. I will. You're on your own, Terrificon people, next year. I'm going to the movies.
And then also this week we had a trailer for Kevin Smith's animated He-Man show.
Yeah, I saw that.
Now I know of the original show, but
Yeah.
I'm more familiar with. They did a revival before this in like the early
Did they?
2000s, like 2003, 2004.
I'm taking your word.
And it was cool because Skeletor it was still for kids, but it was darker, so it was a little more darker take on the
Yeah.
cartoon, but still had its
Yeah.
campy cartoon for kids stuff.
Yeah.
So that looked pretty good. You got Mark Hamill,
Yeah,
voicing
Mark Hamill.
Skeletor.
In fact, some of the people coming to our show, Susan Eisenberg, who was Wonder Woman on Justice League, is the voice of some of those folks on the new He-Man show. So there you go. And that drops the week before Terrificon.
go.
So you could watch all that and then come to the show. Don't forget, Paul Kupperberg actually wrote the first He-Man comic book for DC Comics back then. A lot of the stuff that's on that show came out of the mind of Paul. So when he's at the show, get him to sign your He-Man books,
That was the
It's a big deal.
yellow cover where it's Superman, right? And
Yeah, he
Skeletor
met
and-
Superman, and then Paul does the miniseries, too.
Yeah.
There was a 3-issue miniseries that they enclosed in the comic book. The toy. If you bought the original He-Man toy, it came with a smaller version of the DC comic that Paul's there. So I think that's a collectible.
Yeah, definitely. We've talked about collectibles last time, and it keeps on growing.
Jesus, man, this pandemic has made one thing. Everybody and their brother is now collecting everything. Like Pokemon cards are through the roof. Comic books, toys, everything is just so expensive, and everybody wants it. So make sure you bring all your cash to Terrificon, because you can go shopping to your heart's desire.
Yeah, because there's a Ghost Rider comic their Ghost Rider Marvel Legends with a comic inside, and now that issue's going for big
Really?
bucks. It's like first appearance of Blackout or something, who might be a villain.
Or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be a villain in the Moon Knight show.
It was in what, the Marvel Legends action figure?
Yeah. So it was like
They're even going after those books they used to bind into those things?
Which used to be worthless.
Yeah, they're total reprints. They're worthless.
But now, because there was, I guess, I think it had the quality, or they didn't make as many.
You know what? You say that there's a Star Trek comic. They had the Star Trek action figures, and it was a Boba Fett reprint. It was this Fen Shayla, whatever. So, yeah, look at that. That's the book. So, what happened is, that came out years ago. You couldn't give that toy away. It was at Walmart. It's like nobody wanted it. It was like marked down to $2. Now, because The Mandalorian's such a big deal and Boba Fett, that toy, because it's got that reprint comic, is like hundreds of dollars. I'm like, are you kidding me?
And
That's
even
amazing.
Star Wars comics, other than and even the first
Star Wars
one
comics are worth
wasn't
a lot
even
too, yeah.
that much of a big book.
No, the Empire Strikes Back reprints are big because that's Boba Fett's first appearance and stuff.
And if you're a CGC guy, they don't even mention that. To my knowledge, they don't even, because they'll usually put first appearance of Alexa.
Yeah.
But on the Boba Fett one, they still don't, and they could always change that. But
You know, really, that Bounty Hunters cover that has the three of them on the cover,
Yeah.
it's Boba Fett, Bosk, and Dengar.
Yeah.
They don't consider that the first appearance of Boba Fett?
They do, or I guess they don't, because when last time I checked, they don't even put that on the label.
But I see it on like shows like Comic Tom and all
Yeah.
those guys. It'll go there. They'll say the hottest books and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
But
little controversy. That's like Hulk 180 and 181. To me, Wolverine's first appearance is Hulk 180. He shows up at the end. Dialogue, picture, but they go, oh no, 181. I go,
and then they say 182 is second cameo, even though his first full
well, yeah,
appearance
he's
is
on the
181.
helicopter. Yeah.
It's so funny. It goes from cameo, first appearance, to second cameo.
But they'll consider Darkseid's first appearance in Jimmy Olsen,
That's a good book.
and he's on a screen. That's it.
For the last panel, I think.
Yeah, but that counts as his first appearance. So, I don't know. Like Ghost Rider #1 is not as worth as much as Marvel Spotlight 5. 5? Thank you. Yeah. It depends on who's making the rules up.
It's
I don't know.
the term the comic book community's been using is whatever the market dictates.
I saw you selling comic books at a show recently.
Yeah, so our friends from 3 Men in a Basement, Otto, Dave, and Roger, did a swap at a tattoo parlor in Newtown, Connecticut.
A swap at a tattoo parlor. Boy, that doesn't sound dirty, huh? So did you go home with like a new partner? Oh, you mean it was a comic book thing?
It was.
I thought it was like a swinger sex thing. I don't know. Was there a leather mask involved?
Maybe in the back room.
Maybe in the back room.
But that was a blast. You were there, and I sold for the first time.
You did, and you made money. What'd you do with that money?
Invested in my
more comics. You bought Bitcoin with it, didn't you?
No, I wanted
Doge. You're not buying that?
No, and
I got
NFTs.
a Brooklyn Bridge you can buy.
They might be doing that with comics. People say like you
What?
can go into
NFTs?
or so you can go into an Avengers book, and the panel where Captain America first says Avengers Assemble,
Right.
They might make that you could own like the digital version of that in like a GIF or something
And
like
what
that.
will I do with that?
That's what I've been asking.
Will I
about
pay
these.
my electric bill with that? Can I
Maybe
put
one
food
day.
on the table with that?
Maybe 50 years.
Maybe
from now.
virtual food. When virtual food, I'm a sleek, mean, lean fighting machine. If we're gonna get stupid on this fantasy world.
See,
Sure.
I like to think I'm well versed in everything, but
Yeah.
this Bitcoin
I don't get
and all
Bitcoin
this,
stuff.
and
no,
NFTs.
no. I'm ready for the tulips to come back in vogue. They were worth a lot of money back in the day. The big tulip. You don't know about that? Yeah, tulip bulbs. They used to. It's before the stock market. That was a big thing. People would invest in that. And you see where that went.
And then Mitch,
What?
do you have any
Tell me.
other Terrificon, Gamercon? Is that
Gamercon's in September. Once I get this sucker wrapped up, I got to jump back into it and do the Gamercon. September 18th and 19th, which is a whole other fan base whatsoever. All the stuff that's there, the board games, the card games, that's a big deal. So
awesome? And then other than that, anything else you want to plug?
no, got to paint my house. Anybody looking for some good house painters? Wood prices are a little crazy right now. Maybe I'll pay with them a Doge. No, I got nothing. I'm working on a third show next year, but let's get through this year, okay? 2021. It'll be nice to see everybody back. That's the big
Absolutely.
thing. Every time I go around dropping flyers off and seeing people, they're like, oh my God, I'm so glad you're back. I'm like, so am I, So it beats regular work.
Absolutely.
You know.
And so with the cons, you've kind of not been drawing as much because during the pandemic.
Oh yeah, no, I drew something the other day. It just sucks, so I didn't bother putting it up. I'm my own best critic. I go, that's crap. I mean, I've seen some stuff that gets sold on the internet and by real famous artists, and I go, God, how do you sleep at night? But no, I'm my own critic. I can tell you. Yes, I was starting to draw. Maybe I'll sell some at Terrificon. Maybe I don't know. Violate. Oh my goodness gracious! It's Jerry Ordway and Pat Callahan. Look at that. And that's it.
Mitch, I know you're busy. I know you're off to go promote the show.
I am.
I appreciate you taking
the
time.
Hey, Mike, it's nice to see you back in there without the mask and all that stuff. It's great. It's unbelievable. I'll see you on July 30th to August 1st. Yeah. All right.
Awesome.
We'll
Thanks,
there.
everybody.
Bye.